mainly the installation of Tails. So Tails is the Amnesic Incognito life system. Tails means the Amnesic Incognito life system. Just the definition, the amnesic, when it comes to amnesic, what comes to your mind? Amnesia. Yeah, memory loss. Eh? Lots of. That is insomnia. Wait again. God bless you, better person. So what about incognito? We know about incognito now. We have heard about incognito. Yeah. So what about if you're talking about a life system now? What comes to your mind when you say something is life, like a life system? Huh? Is happily. Yes, yeah, okay. It's life. So let us break it down one by one. So amnesic simply means a person experiencing a partial or total loss of memory. For Tails, it also implies the same thing. The operating system is amnesic in the sense that it does not retain what is being stored. No program can be installed, even though you install programs. It doesn't get saved at all. No app, no features, nothing can be installed there. As long as you remove the operating system, you remove the USB, it starts from beginning again. Everything is lost from the beginning. So incognito, you can say incognito is a private browsing or a private window. It's an internet browsing setting that prevents browsing history from being stored. Not like your Google Chrome that all what you browse has an history that you saved. But while browsing on incognito mode, no history is being saved, your text picture, nothing is being saved at all. You have been browsing now where they say login, or if you are browsing your username and password, they tell you that, or to complete your password. You see a pop-up that say complete your password for you, without you type in the password. But in incognito is different. It doesn't show you the pop-up, nothing comes out. It does not save your password, it does not save anything at all. So a live system can be a live disk or a live operating system that is completely bootable without installation. An operating system which runs directly from a CD-ROM or a flash drive in the case into a computer's memory rather than loading from the hard disk drive. So this Tails does not run on your hard disk. It runs directly from a USB drive. Like I said, I installed it there because of time. I couldn't install it. My system, so I installed it on that flash drive, and Jotam has one. So the introduction of Tails. Tails is an operating system like Windows or Mac OS, but one especially designed to preserve your anonymity and privacy. Tails is security-focused Debian-based Linux distribution aimed at preserving privacy and anonymity. All its outgoing connections are forced to go through the Tor network, and direct non-anonymous connections are blocked. Last case, Jotam talked about Tor, the deep web and the dark web. So Tails was mainly built for Tor. It blocks your anonymity and privacy from going out. The system is designed to be booted as a live DVD or a live USB, and will leave no trace on the machine. The Tor project has provided most of the financial support for its development. So we have the disadvantage of using Tor in Windows OS. Only if you install Tor on your normal Windows 10, only the Tor browser is allowed to connect to the Tor network. Other browsers connect directly to the internet, making it unsecure. It leaves a loophole for it to get compromised. Importance of using Tails. Everything are forced to go through the Tor network. Even your Google Chrome, your Opera Mini, everything are forced to go through the Tor network. So you are safe from anything. So differences between anonymity and privacy. Privacy is the ability to keep something to yourself regardless of their impact to society So privacy is the concept of describing activity that you keep entirely to yourself. Anonymity is when you want people to see what you do, just that, not you doing it. An example is a building. Let's take a building for example. Jotan walks into a building. You know that he was the one who walks into the building, but you don't know what he's doing inside the building. That is privacy. Anonymity is someone comes out of the building with a mark on his face, washing a car. You know he's washing the car, but you don't know who is washing that car. That is anonymity. Do you grab?
Yes.
So making Tails bootable. So first you need a USB stick, minimum size of 8 GB, the USB image, the Tails USB image, and etcher. That makes it bootable. For Windows 10, you use Rufus to make Windows 10 bootable. But for this, you use etcher. It's a software that makes the Tails image bootable to a flash drive. Windows 10 uses Rufus and other bootable media. So you open the etcher, you select the image. You select the image from here. You choose the Tails image, that's the ISO or anything. Then you flash the device, the flash drive itself. Then after flashing, it validates. Maybe it has been compromised when you are downloading it. Maybe it was added extra features by some people. So starting Tails, you connect Tails to a USB, restart the computer, enter to the boot menu, boot from a USB external storage. So I have a setup there on my system. Jeton. And stop. You're on it now?
Yes.
Let me just set this on up. Yeah. Start it again from beginning. So in Tails, anything you store on Tails does not save. If you save a folder, any program you install, as long as you remove the USB flash and put it back, it starts from the beginning again, as if you're installing a new operating system. It's amnesic. It doesn't retain any memory at all of what has been done. It does not remember what has been done at all. So when Tails begin, you have to start the Tails, connect it to the Tor network, and start browsing. Then you are anonymous. For some system, to start, you use Escape F12 and F9. For ASUS system, Escape and F8. For Dell, F12. For Fujitsu, F12 and Escape or Escape. HP is F9. Lenovo is F12 and F8 or F10. Samsung is Escape F12 or F2. Sony is 11, F11, Escape and F10. Toshiba is F12, and others can be F12 or Escape. So when you boot into the manager, the BIOS, you enter setup, you go to the EFI USB device. It might be different for some system. Then you start Tails. You click on Tails, start Tails. You set up the language, the keyboard layout, and the format. So that's all for Tails. Nothing else for Tails. So the question is, why will you use Tails? Why don't you use Windows 10 or other operating system? Can somebody just help me out? Yes, for private. Yes. Jota was talking about dark web, his last KD. So I was telling him that because even though you're using Tails, like there's one thing I was saying that if you're browsing on Tails, you don't need to maximize the screen because of JavaScript something, so that they will not know the size of your screen using JavaScript. Yes, but in Tails it's totally different because everything is secured. You can browse full screen. You are privately and also anonymous. So Jotam, can you help me to like create a file? Just create a file on your operating system. Then boot it again to so that it's still there. No, create a file, then remove the USB and put it back again. Start it again. Use terminal now. This is the terminal. Okay. Escape. Enter. Then F9. You can't put it in a projector because the system is off. You are projecting from this end. I don't think it's going to work. Yes. Yes. Because it's connected.
Like any application.
Any application, just
people can access that way.
Yes. On Tails.
Wow.
So I think every time we open that Tails, that's install Google again.
It comes with its own browser normally. Okay. But if you want to be installing Chrome every time you want to log in.
That means well, every time it starts, you have to.
Yes.
Yes. Very much.
Is it what? Huh? Normal Windows. That's what I'm telling you now. Using your normal window is not secured. If you have gone through the dark web, you know what I'm saying? It's not secured.
So you use this as long as
You use this.
secure for life.
So I can say that Tails is. Okay, you can say that Tails is 99% secured.
Wow.
The remaining 1% is your fault if it's not secured. Because you can't tell me that you want to be logging in your Facebook on Tails. So it's not as secure for the 1%. How far? No, it must be a Linux. Linux. Yeah.
So
That's how you convert. That's how you convert Windows to Linux. This thing. I know it's churn mode, ch mode plus x. So you convert it to. communicating together. That is it. So any other question? Answer now. Yeah.
I'm using bills now. Scam someone.
Wait first.
They might, if they are experiencing now, but
Yeah.
for what we know about our current FCC,
So wait. Can you choose your location?
No. It's they choose 5 locations for you randomly.
No, for a VPN. For a VPN, for example.
Yeah. Yeah, in VPN you can choose the location. You can still choose the location actually. Yeah. But Tails does not need VPN already. That's what I was telling you from the beginning. You don't need VPN for Tails. For Windows you need VPN actually to make it more stronger. But some huh?
you don't have a setting like that you are coming from the US, you start
Yeah. So I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Sir? Yeah. No, they have it. It's at the ending. Then you choose, you click it, then you choose from it. But the first one is always mandatory. Yeah, that's the default. Like you have to pass that onion stuff. So any other question? What is it? I can't hear you, sorry. Do you have boot? Tails, you don't install Tails on hard disk. So anytime you use it, you just use the USB drive on it. Then after using it, you remove it. Yeah, just lightweight, 1 gigabyte. It's lightweight now. So any other question? Any other question?
Mazi. Sorry guys, I use Google Drive for my presentation, so I need network to connect. Everywhere. Okay.
What's the password?
I should go upstairs and connect, then come down. You have a good point.
Yes.
Please give me a minute.
We don't want to waste time.
Police, you cannot back in the next 5 minutes.
Not me, I don't have my slide ready. My slides are ready. It will be nice, though. I can read, of course. It will be nice.
Either Jordan or
I just do, I need to have my slides ready.
you do motivational.
Oh, Jesus. She wants to
Yeah.
An open source data query and manipulation language for APIs, and the runtime for fulfilling queries with existing data. GraphQL was developed internally by Facebook in 2012 before being publicly released in 2015. It provides an approach to developing web APIs and has been compared and contrasted with REST and other web service architectures. It consists of a type system, query language, and execution semantics, static validation, and type introspection. GraphQL servers are available for multiple languages, including many things, Python, and the rest. Now, let's talk about this. Are you guys seeing this? Yes. Yes. Now, GraphQL. Okay, let's get serious and technical. Now, if you know APIs, if you don't know APIs, you should have come for Ibrahim's class yesterday, ABKD yesterday. If you know APIs, I brought from you, we locomote. Yes. So, if you know APIs, you understand probably how REST works. REST is a calling plenty endpoints, and people nowadays, we don't like it. But now for this one of the reasons we like this is one, the types. That means for each field there's a type. If you're not technical, I plead again with you. I won't say forgive me, but it's not my. Anyways, if you look at this now, there's a user here, right? It has ID and name. For ID, you specify the type. For name, you specify the type. And if you are not here for Toby's TypeScript, you missed out. Query is another type. What query returns? The type that query returns is user. This now, like this character, these are the types it returns. Now, here is where it gets fun. Sorry, if it's not fun yet, you are missing out. You don't know. There's what we call a GraphQL query. When you call the query, generally the shape it's in, you see the shape it's in, and what you ask for is what you get back. Here is an example of a GraphQL query. This is JSON here. It returns JSON, obviously. But now on this part, you see, this is what you send to the server, just like this, exactly like this. There is no too much, call this and call this and call this. This is, in the sense of endpoints, this is what you call. When you send this to a GraphQL server, for example, it returns this to you. Where it beats REST is, assuming in REST you wanted to call for a user, if you specify the user, even if the server is set to give you most of these parts here, you can't really get this, because this is going into getting other stuff that's probably in a different table on database. Now, but by specifying this, in this case now, it gets you all of this. If this is REST, what you're doing here is likely, let's say, Bincom.net, you put a question mark, and you put user equals this, or let's say user ID equals this. For you to get most of this, you have to start doing and friend connection equals this, and total count equals. You have to specify everything if you're using REST APIs. But for GraphQL, you don't get to do that. All you really have to do is send in this query exactly this way it's looking now, and it can get you exactly everything here. Do you understand? Yes. Yeah, good job, guys. I like that you're understanding me. So now there are queries and there are mutations. Queries are what on REST, that would be like get requests. Mutations are the equivalent of post, put, patch, delete, and co. Yes, now co. So this is what mutations are. I'm trying to be as laymanish as possible. Yeah. I'm enjoying myself. If you are not, I don't know about you. So as you can see here, this is an example of a mutation. Now, GraphQL supports variables even in the server query. So like this now, the EP part you're seeing, the EP here, review and stuff, they are variables. You set the variables and then you can load the variables into this. What this does here, as you can see, it posts this and then it creates a review. And for REST, for GraphQL, when it creates a review, when it creates something generally, it returns back what it created to you so that now you have the data. So assuming you wanted to increment a number, it returns back the current number that's in one request. In one send, you just send it to the server, and in one request, you get what you need and returns back the current status of the data on the server. Do you understand? Thank you. I'll buy you something. Yes. Don't worry, I'm done. I'm done, guys. I'm done. That's almost finished. Just like 5 more slides to go of really interesting stuff. Features of GraphQL. One thing, it defines a data shape. That's in the sense that whatever you send, like this, as you can see, the way this is set is the same way the structure is coming back in. There's user like this, it comes back, right? ID, name, is viewer friend, Everything comes back the way you set it. So you're not going to be waiting to know what is coming back for you, because you know what you sent, you know what you asked for, and it gets you back the result in the same way you asked for it. Unlike the the way REST works. Now you're putting this one equals this one equals, you don't even know what is coming back, you're just expecting something. But this beats that by far. You know what I mean? Yeah, this second part is about on REST, as I was explaining. For many things you have to do lots of joins and this and this and this and this and this. If you want to get the kind of things you get with GraphQL on REST, you end up having to call many endpoints. That means you can't get it in one request. You have to call many. That's what he's talking about here. It requires multiple round trips. But because the way this one is, you can arrange it in a certain manner, and it can even go in depth to get things for you, as long as you write your query in the proper manner. I like how you guys are looking at me. You understand so much. Wow. I like this. I really like this. I'm proud of you guys, right? Yeah, strongly typed, in the sense that it requires a type. There's a type for everything, and if what is being returned is not in the same type, or if what you're sending is not in the same type as what it should be, it's going to give you an error. Are we understanding?
Yeah, bro. Yes.
You understanding?
Yeah, bro.
Wow. I'm proud of you guys. All right. Because the understanding is too much. Obviously, you understand me too much. Protocol, not storage, introspective. Just negating. To round it up, introspective. All right, let's speak the English. Now, GraphQL, it has an IDE called GraphQL. Sorry, because I didn't have too much time. I would have gotten it for you to show you guys an actual, you just like Postman. Yeah, that's the best way to explain it right now. It's just like Postman. In it, you can input the queries and get the results back. All these things I've been showing you throughout. The image I've been showing you are how it looks like on GraphQL. That's the IDE it comes with. It shows you how. So they send you something too, so you have a way to see what your queries are like and see how it comes back. It helps you to work. Unlike, all of us, sorry, not all of us, no, those that know that REST is a war. But this makes things easy for you. That it ships with its own IDE so you can work on your queries and test them and know everything you need to know before you even go live. Hope you understand.
Yes.
Yeah, even those are not saying it, I can hear it in your minds. You understand? All right, then, since you understand, any questions? Show it, man.
Why would a layman like me from SQL and that is...
No, it's not a database language.
Oh, it's not?
It's not. It's not. Hey.
What is it used for? I saw query.
Yes. But did you see for APIs too?
Oh.
Yeah. You heard me say it in the beginning. Even the technical ones, it's for advanced levels. I tried.
Okay, like I want to convince you to do it my rest and do it your prayer.
I should convince you.
Yeah, I need to convince you. Tell me why. Why should I?
Honey, okay. You know they say, I don't need to convince you. But still, I'll convince you.
Why should I do?
Have you ever written a request to an API? REST. How did you do it? That's its own format. How does it look like? You specify the key. Do you know what it's going to return? You really have no idea. You don't know if you are getting a number or a boolean or a string. You don't. As long as no, that's one thing where this one beats that guy. This one has type. I'm just giving you an example. This one has type. When you are sending something, you know what you are getting. See this here. No, that's just one. No, that's just one. Cool down. We'll get there. Cool down. You see this here. This thing on this side now. It's exactly what you sent to the server. The way it looks like JSON now, it's exactly, you send it like a string to the server. It gets you back this thing on the other side. Imagine if you wanted to get this in REST. Please, how do you think your request will look like? All of this.
Okay, sorry, unless I want to use my profile, okay, once I write to the REST, I'll send my name, right, my password, correct password, which is saying it's going to tell my ID, my name, my location, and something like that. Well, I don't know how I'm going to do GraphQL. Is that I'm just going to write ID?
If you really want to get it to GraphQL, say from here to here. You see that part I'm showing you now? From here to here, can do a good job. Actually, this first line now can do the whole job. This part is you specifying what you want and what you don't want. If you put only this, it gets you everything you just talked about.
What's my name?
If you don't know your ID, how do you get on REST? You put, if it's on this one, you have to put something like name. The same way this is. Instead of the ID, you put name and you put what you need.
My last question is, okay, if I'm using Postman, I want to press. Can I use this on Postman?
No.
If I'm testing my API.
No. That's why I explained to you. There's something called GraphQL.
No, I need like applications to test my
It has its own. It's not like REST. It doesn't do the whole normal key value. If you remove this ID here, what you are telling this is, get me every user and everything here. This here says, get me their first 5 friends. This here says, everything here is like obvious. Unlike what you get in REST. Yes.
This one allows us to specify.
Yes. That's one. And as I said, this friend connection, this actually goes in for each of your friend. If you look here, for each of your friend, it goes in total count of all your friends, right? It gets you the ID and the name. If you specify ID, name, profile picture for all of them, it will get all of them. if you are doing this in REST, my guy, to write this query to get this, you will write one whole Excel sheet or like one whole Word document, just query. So when you put in your browser, me and you know you can never remember what you just asked for. So in that one, yeah, I'm even stopping here for good reason. There are many things to get. You write functions in GraphQL. The best place is run on is Node.js because as you can see the format, you know they embrace it better. You can use spread operator to set out what you want inside the GraphQL itself, not on your own code. The idea is that when you are done building what you want to build, even when the server changes things, it doesn't affect what you've written on the client side. Unlike REST, if they change one thing in the API, you have to go back and write all your PHP code, come back and write all the front-end code because they changed something on the back end. But because this one works hand in hand with the server, there's a GraphQL server and there's one you run on the clients because they go hand in hand. When you set out one, the other one too is set out. There's a type that's set. You are not checking whether or not they changed this to this. It remains the same thing because there's a type. And if the type fails, because whoever changed it, whether you or the backend, they'll notify you that something changed and this is where it changed. If you have tried to debug a REST API response before, that you're just something is coming back, you don't know what is happening, you know that most certainly you have to go back and read documentation from those people. For this one, you can even query to just know this query here now. All it says is get me all the types. Like for each one, what is the type? That's all you're asking for. It says here now, like this now, get me the type for name, get me the type for views, get me the type for ID, and it returns everything's type here. So you know what you're up against. Do you understand this? I feel like you're convinced now. Now I know you're lying because you're convinced.
Okay, I'll still go my race. You know we have posts, we have gets, we have patch, we have delete.
Yes.
We have something like that.
GraphQL, there are two things I mentioned. There's a query and there's a mutation. Query is the one query gets, like gets. Mutation is the other one. The one he asked about. All the rest. Were you guys listening when I was talking? That explains a lot. Thank God we were catching this on camera. Daniel was sleeping. For the rest of them, the post, the put, the patch, the delete. Mutations take care of it.
Right.
This is an example. You see how mutation starts this. For the other one, query will start it to specify that you are just asking for something. You want to get a return back. You are not sending anything. For this mutation here, this is create review. It's a function. You pass into it these things here. I like that you're understanding. That's nice. These are variables that were set beforehand. You pass it into, the variables you are set in GraphQL, not even on your own. That means this is now passing the bounds of which language is it. There's a set language. The same thing you run here, we run it on PHP, you run it on Python, run it on Scala, run it anywhere, the same thing, and it will work. Since there are no more questions.
I have a question.
Since there are no more questions. Yeah.
Okay, so that you can set the data type of your query.
Yes.
What if they contradict to what is in there? Does it wait or does it just skip?
When they set it on the back end, when you call for it, what we are saying is that it returns back to you something definite. But assuming you want to change something, a mutation, that's where you can have an issue.
No, I meant just the query get. You said maybe your name should be string, but in the API, the name is
No, they set that one on the back end, on the GraphQL server, in the back end side. You set type there, not on. What I'm saying is that on the client side, you now know what you are receiving. It's not changing. It's not today it was a boolean, and then tomorrow it turns out to be a string, then day after that it's a number. All right. In the absence of any more questions, can you clap for me now? I hope we'll do this again soon.
No.